Welcome to the Cop and the Con podcast with Eric Walker and Tanner Johnson.
And we're live. First podcast.
First ever.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm good.
You good? I don't know whether to leave my glasses on or take them off. I can't see either.
You don't know what to do with your hands?
Yeah, I'm too old. Don't know what to do with my hands. Man, I'm excited. First Cop and the Con podcast. We're going to talk about a lot of useless shit, and hopefully people listen to it.
Well, tell them who you are.
My name is Eric Walker. I was a police officer for the city of Safford for 15 years. Before that, I was a corrections officer for 4 years. I come from a family of law enforcement. All my dad's brothers, he had like 6 brothers. They were all cops. He was a cop. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not.
You did not. You're going to find out a lot of stuff today. And so I come from a long line. I didn't want to be a cop. I actually hated cops growing up, because I was doing stupid shit. But I just kind of fell into it, and I was kind of okay at it. And I was calm in situations, so that's what I did for a lot of years. And now, after doing a bunch of different things and coming from the MMA jiu-jitsu world and the CrossFit world and a bunch of different stuff, I'm now my retirement plan is I'm tattooing full time. So
Hey, just curious, what was your record in the MMA?
I'm 0-1.
Okay.
You can look it up on SureDog.com.
I just wanted to make sure I was right on that before I made fun of you.
I am 0-1, but I'm still in the top percentile of people who will never step in the cage. So.
Okay, good.
Yeah. But that's basically my short story. I'm sure we'll get into a lot of different things. And Tanner, what's your story?
Well, I am Tanner Johnson. I am, I don't even know where to start with who I am. My family was actually one of the first families to ever develop anything here in this. My great-great-grandfather, Christopher Layton, was, I think he had 13 wives and 52 children. So, yes, I'm Mormon.
That explains a lot.
I grew up here. I was a quarterback of football. I did a lot of just very athletic things. And when I was about 17 years old, somebody told me that if I did meth, I would be a better football player, and I believed them. So
it worked for a while.
It did work for a little while. I played like a monster for about 4 or 5 games, and then I started pulling muscles I didn't even know I freaking had. And that led me into a life of crime. I have given 5 years of my life to the same correctional system that Eric worked for. I have I quit doing drugs November 30th, 2006. We've all had slip-ups in between there, but I've not gone back to meth, not once. I've had a drink here and there, but for the most part, I'm kind of a sober guy now. I don't drink or anything like that, but as you can tell, both of our lives have been complete opposites of each other.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think I ever you didn't do anything in Safford, though, did you?
I did everything in Safford.
But you didn't get caught in Safford.
I got caught in Safford.
Did you? Where was I at?
I got caught by a couple officers, not to be named, but they worked for the Department of Public Safety.
Oh, yeah.
DPS ran some stings and raided my house. And
Gotcha.
That was the first time I got in trouble. The second time I got in trouble, yes, I was all in Tucson. Running amok up there when I got in trouble, doing stuff up there and there, yeah.
So what brought you back to Safford?
What brought me back to Safford was I did not want to raise kids in Tucson. I wouldn't say I was screwing up again, but I definitely wasn't headed to the right place in Tucson. And my wife at the time, she was kind of on the same track, and we decided that was, let's just get out of here was kind of the attitude. Let's just move. I was managing a strip club in Tucson, DJing and managing a strip club during the night. And during the day, I was a liquor manager at Albertsons Grocery. So I kind of got to do a bunch of things. But, yeah, I rarely slept. I partied up there. It wasn't like I was, full blown into shooting meth or doing anything like that again. But it was just time for a change. And my ex-wife needed a change. I needed a change. And we just decided, hey, let's go back home.
So in the interim, though, like before that, there was a little. You went away to college, right?
I did go away to college for a little bit. And by do you mean which college do you mean to? The Orange College?
Yes.
Or, okay, the Orange College. Yes. So when they raided my house, I was already on probation for a bunch of stupid crap I'd done. I think I was 2 months away from ending probation, and I ended up going in to violate, and I had drugs on me. It was crappy. And I know a lot of you listen to this may or may not know this about me, but I don't hide any of it. I mean, I don't think anybody that knows me knows me. I've never hidden any of this stuff. So I hope none of you are super surprised or worried that, oh my gosh, I didn't know. No, you just could have asked me. I don't lie about it. So, but, and you know that, Eric.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I did. I've done a 1 year stint. I've done a 3 year stint, and I've done another 1 year stint. So 5 years total is what I've given to the Arizona penal system here.
And you went in. What was the dates? When did you last come out?
The last time I came out was May of 2007.
Okay, and then after that is when you met.
I never
your wife,
looked back.
You never looked back after that.
Never looked back.
Yeah, and then I think you came back because I remember you being here, having the house over in Safford, and I would actually be on duty.
Okay, that was before I went.
That was before.
Yes. That's when I was actually living with Officer Damien.
Right.
Yeah, and we were drinking and stuff, but yeah, so I mean that's kind of
But I would get off duty.
Yes.
And then I would go to
Yes.
your house.
Yes.
And hang out with you guys.
Yes.
Which is, weird. I wasn't doing anything illicit.
No.
But yeah, definitely had some wrestling matches in the kitchen.
Were you off duty?
Sometimes. I gave you a call ahead of time when I was coming.
Yeah. Let's see. I worked at a bar here, and when I worked at the bar, I was bar backing and bartending. My good buddy Shane, he gave me one of my first jobs at the restaurant he owned back then. And it just kind of, from there, it was my first like steady job I'd ever had. But he worked me into the bar at night and stuff like that. And when I was in jail, he gave me work release and helped me out. Like super cool guy. Love you, Shane.
Love you, Shane.
But I would close the bar, and then me and my 4 roommates, it was me, Nathan, Kenny, Casey,
the whole band.
yeah, there was the whole band. So they would wait at the house, and we would get off, around 2:00 in the morning, and we would invite the rest of the bar to my house. Everybody would buy the beer. You could buy beer at the bar and take it with you. You just couldn't open it and drink it when you bought it from the bar. So,
Right.
So everybody'd load up on beer before we left the bar. We'd go to my house and literally had a full band playing in the middle of town, just heavy metal music all night, and everybody and anybody was invited. And I'd say that went on for about a year. And it just got to the point where not even just you, like Officer Sean, Officer Jason, they'd all come over and like, oh, here we go again. But there was no fights. We never had any trouble. It was just a good freaking time. And for the most part, you guys just left us alone. So
Yeah, we didn't really get that many calls, but I think you guys knew when to shut it down and when not to. When did you and me meet? Because I don't remember.
Okay, so this has been a discussion that Eric and I have been having probably for the last week, and I think we've had it before, but I don't recall the night, the day, or how it happened, how we became friends. I just know that it was just one of those things. There was you and I bet it had a lot to do with the other guy, Brad.
Shout out to the killer.
Yeah, so I'd known him since we were kids because his grandfather owned a car lot. My dad worked there. So I'd known him for many years. And I think that's probably how I came to know you, was through Brad. It had to have been.
Or Damien.
Could have been Damien also. but I'm pretty sure it was one of those two, no question.
Right, and right off the bat, I mean, Tanner's like this with pretty much everybody. I'm not so much. I get along with everybody, but not. I'm a little more reserved. But right off
A little
the
bit
bat,
of an RBF.
yeah, pretty much. But right off the bat with Tanner, right off the bat with you, we hit it off, and I mean, for better or for worse, because we've had our moments and we bust each other's balls all the time, which good friends always do.
Yeah, I'd say our friendship, if you had to categorize it, I'll tell you this. If you did not know me and Eric, and you came upon a conversation with me and Eric, you would walk away saying, wow, these guys fucking hate each other. I don't even know why they're in the same room together.
I think you did a video for Battle of the Bound sometime, and I was in the background, and I think one of the comments was like, Eric looks like he wants to kill Tanner.
Yeah, it was. Well, I told everybody, I said, these guys are my boys, and these guys are my friends, and we're all in a band, and that means that I'm in a band with my boyfriends. And everybody's like, whoa, no, we're not. And Eric just jaw clenching, like, how did you get me in this video, you idiot?
Oh, that's not the first video you've made of your band.
No, definitely not.
There's some that I like better than others, but follow Tanner's TikTok, Dad Joke Tanner, if you want to see some more content on that. How many followers you got now, Tanner?
I've got
53,000, something like that.
No, it is last check was 93,000.
Oh, jeez.
And I have another 10,000 on this Facebook. My other Facebook got shut down for copyright violations because I was using music that was allowed on TikTok but not allowed on Facebook. And they told me, hey, you either take the music out or we're going to shut you down. And I had 120,000 on that Facebook account.
Oh, wow.
And they shut it down. So I've not been able to I can get back in that one, but I can't do anything on it. So I had to start this new one. So altogether, I've got over 200,000 followers between all the platforms.
Right. And I think you have a pinned post on your TikTok as what, 53 million?
36 million.
36 million hits, something like that. Yeah. So yeah, if you guys want to check out Tanner's TikTok, it's hilarious. So.
Yeah, it's at Dad Joke Tanner. That's the same on Instagram, and then you just look up my name, Tanner C. Johnson, on Facebook. You can find me on there. I'm stupid, and I love it, and my girls love it. So that's just what I do. I make content that makes me happy, and other people seem to like it. So
let's talk about the band a little bit. So when Tanner came back from Tucson, he had some odd jobs. You were working at Minute Market or something like that?
I started at Minute
Market.
Market. Yeah.
Actually working for my wife's mom, I think. Was it?
Yeah, oh, yes. Yeah. Yes, I was.
For Laura, yeah.
That's right. She's the one that hired me. That's right. I totally forgot that.
And then I was working. It was about 2013, wasn't it?
It was 2013 when I moved back. Yes.
Yeah. And so I was working at a local Polaris dealership, and Tanner got hired on there.
Yeah.
And that's when we kind of rekindled our friendship and started hanging out a little bit and taking abuse from.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
But since then, I think about 6 years ago we started the band.
It's been, well, it would have been after I worked at the Polaris dealership. And I was in Tucson in between 2007 and 2013. I jumped in a little band called Front Heavy. It was 4 fat guys and me. And I mean, and they'll tell you that's why we called it Front Heavy. They were big boys. And I was singing a lot, but my what everybody in Tucson knew me for was I would go to the karaoke nights and I'd stand on the bar and I'd sing the song "Show Them to Me" from Rodney Carrington. And everybody loved me because somebody showed me something every single night. So I got to be kind of known for that. And I thought, man, I kind of like singing. So we got in the band. And then when I came back, this guy Dave came into my work and he's like, hey, man, I saw some videos of you doing karaoke. Why don't you start the band again? And I was like, it's a pretty good idea. And I was like, I know a drummer. Mm-hmm. And I found Eric. I didn't find him. I just called him. I was like, hey, do you still have your drum set? And from there, we got another guy.
And Gobble.
And Gobble.
Yeah.
Gobble is still one of our best friends to this day. We all fight like little high school girls, like constantly. It's ridiculous. We have a text thread where we love each other for about 5-6 days and then hate each other the rest. But I think that's pretty common
Typical
with bands. But yeah, we'll have Gobble on the show one day. I promised him he could come in and hang out and talk to us about his life and stuff. But yeah, that's kind of how we started the band. And then we went into the Battle of the Bands.
Yeah, we started Battle of the Bands in 2019.
2019 was the first year. And they put us on at 1 o'clock
Oh,
on the hottest day of the year. It's always the first Saturday after the 4th of July weekend. So whatever that Saturday is every Battle of the Bands. Like this year, it's the 11th. But yeah, it was it was scorching hot at 1 o'clock. And I just remember every time I'd step out into the sun, it just felt like I was on fire.
yeah, I think that's the fastest we've ever played those songs. Just to try
Well,
to get
and
off
we
the
played
stage.
We played that. We Gobble can tell the story about him, but I'll leave this as is Gobble played in a full boot. He fell
down the stairs.
He fell down the stairs.
Yeah.
He can tell you the story from there when he's on one day. But yes, he got up there in a full boot, and yeah, we played our butts off. But it was, I think, up till about half hour before we went on, we didn't even know if we were playing that day. We didn't know if Gobble was going to be able to make it.
Yeah, it was touch and go. And then we played the next year. We got a little later time in the next year, I think.
So I'm wearing Meta
what
glasses,
is that?
and my glasses just died. So if you hear that in the background, that was my new Meta glasses are out of battery.
Are you
so
recording without me
I
knowing?
am not recording.
Okay.
I totally forgot they were on. And here's the thing about Meta glasses is
They're gay?
Well, no, yes, no, but they are on my. So they have those, I don't know, speakers right in your ear. And like that right now, like you're not prepared for somebody to come behind you and talk in your
Well,
ear.
you were in prison, so
Yes.
you're kind of
So
prepared.
I might be. What? Don't you laugh. So just so everybody knows, if we hear a little giggle in the background, we have Dorito here, and she's going to help us with like looking stuff. She's going to be our Jamie that Joe Rogan has.
Yeah, pull it up, Jamie.
Yeah. So they
Pull up
speak into
prison
your
sex.
we put we did yeah. So it scares the crap out of you when they start talking in your ear like that.
Can you change what's talking to? Like, can you change the voice?
I can. So
Like
right
on your
now
phone?
I have Kristen Bell is the one that is my AI voice.
Do you have a thing for Kristen Bell?
No, but she was the only woman that was available at that point. So I was like, I'd rather have a girl speaking in my ear than
Right. That's some dude.
yeah. Well, they had some weird dudes, so I chose him. But what was I telling you before that jumped in there and said that?
What were we talking about?
Oh yeah, Gobble being on his boot. And
And then we 2020 we went a little longer or a little later in the day, which was a little cooler.
Yes.
And then in 2021, we actually got bumped to the last band.
Well, we didn't get bumped. So the weather was so bad because the Battle
That's
of the
right.
Bands up to this year is so there was a couple bands that came in from out of town. So they had actually asked us, "Hey, can we go earlier because we got to drive through this weather?" I mean, it was horrible weather. So we just took it like champ. We're like, "Yeah, we'll play the last band." We went on at 11:45, I think, p.m.
Yeah, it was late,
Yeah, it was like 11:45 p.m. when we went on.
but it was great. Like the rain had cooled everything
Yep.
down. It was still a little lightning in the background. We got to use the light show.
Yeah, so they have a big lighted stage that nobody ever gets to use because, well, they got to get them all in one day. So it was 20. It's usually 20 bands. So only like the last 5 bands get to use that light show. So we were on the lights. We did our original song, and we did I think we did Spiders from System of a Down. We did Change from Deftones. We did Shove It from Deftones.
Mud Shovel.
Yeah, and then we did Mud Shovel, and then we did our original song.
Yeah,
and
Just Breathe.
We just crushed it. Apparently, everybody loved it. So
Yeah, we won that year.
yeah, and we did. We walked away with the top prize. We won we ended up with a $1,500 check and a cool trophy that sits down at my work. What's a plaque? And a big giant check that's still down there. Like one of those big, like, looks like you won the Publishers Clearinghouse checks. Big one like that. So that was pretty cool.
And we've been chasing it every year since.
Every year since. And this will be the first year we haven't done it since 2019.
Well, you're going to be a judge.
But I will
year,
be
right?
the judge this year.
Yeah. And, hopefully we can start playing again soon. See what happens.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Sure would.
Yeah.
Lives have changed a lot. Our poor little Gobble got a job working. So here's a little kind of geography lesson about what we live in here if you're not from here. So we live 40 miles away from the second biggest open pit mine in the world in Morenci, Arizona. And then we have a mine here in Safford, Arizona. That's, if you walk out my front door right now, you can see like the whole mine. So that's the mine and the prison system is pretty much the top, like the most, like that's where most of the employment comes from.
We have 2 state prisons, a federal prison, and 2 mines. Within an hour.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people work for those places, and there's a lot of prisoners. So
yeah, that's where most of our economy comes from.
Yeah.
And besides teachers and medical people, but we do have a lot of cotton farmers.
We have a lot of cotton farmers, but we also have we are on top of if you walk out our front door, you can see the mountain. Now, Mount Graham. So what's significant about Mount Graham is it's full of conspiracy theories, but the Vatican has a telescope on our mountain called Lucifer.
I used to do security.
Yeah, they call it. It's called Lucifer. Yep. LU. It's a acronym for, I don't know what it is, but what it all stands for. But yeah, they call it Lucifer. So that'll be for another episode. We'll talk about all that. But yeah, there's a lot of things that our little county and our terrain here. It's super rich in copper. We have a lot of stuff going on in our little tiny town.
And so, getting back to our bass player, he is working for the mine now and doesn't have as much time working shift work as he did before. So also Tanner sometimes is a little bitch and doesn't want to sing in the band.
It's very, very true statement.
But okay, I'm going to ask you a question. Who's the hardest person to deal with in our band?
You, 100%. No question. And I'll tell you why. It's not that he's the hardest person. Eric is. So I'm a very emotional person. In fact, our friend Brad always jokes that I cry at beautiful sunsets because I'm so emotional. But I would have to say Eric is as or more emotional than me. So it's pretty close. Dorito, do you have anything you'd like to add to that?
She doesn't.
She doesn't.
Now, I'm emotional in a different way.
He cries during movies.
Oh,
sometimes.
okay. Let's air our dirty laundry.
Hey, I cry during movies too, though. So
let's keep it with the band. Like I just get pissed off.
yeah, Eric. I get sassy. Eric gets angry. So but deep down, he's just sad.
Yeah, it's sad.
He's just emotional.
Let's you hit on something I want to talk about a little bit.
Okay.
I did not know that they named the Vatican scope that.
It's named Lucifer.
Can we pull that up? Is there any way we can pull that up? I want to fact check this.
Just type Vatican Vatican scope on Mount Graham. So its true name is. The Vatican does not have a telescope named Lucifer.
We just debunked.
What does it say?
A conspiracy theory.
So it doesn't.
It's a large binocular telescope.
The Vatican scope isn't the binocular telescope. The Vatican scope is the other scope because I used to work up there.
Large binocular telescope near infrared utility with camera and integral field unit for.
But
I
that
think,
says Lucifer, though.
I think AI is wrong on this because the binocular scope, which I helped.
That's the
other bigger scope. The Vatican scope is the smaller scope.
So it says, well, it is definitely up there. So that we could probably make a whole episode on this. The theory is, now let me all the conspiracy. So I'll tell you, me and my ex-wife went to Paracon a couple years ago in 2020.
So it says the Lucifer instrument for the LBTs. The LBT is the big one. Sorry.
You're not. You're far. There you go.
Yeah. So what were you saying?
No, what were you saying? The Lucifer.
So it's saying the Lucifer instrument is the LBT scope. So that is the big binocular scope. The VAT is the smaller scope. But, I mean, the Vatican has an interest in all of that up there.
So and so me and my ex-wife went to what's called Paracon. So here's another little tidbit about me is I am a full believer in the paranormal. In fact, I went on a ghost hunt last night and we caught some pretty cool evidence. We caught about a half hour's worth of evidence that was just completely unexplainable. But anyway,
Where'd you guys go?
I can't say.
You can't say.
We're not allowed to be there.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'll show you the
tell me
stuff
off the air.
Yeah. But we went to Paracon in Las Vegas, where all the guys from the Travel Channel, the Discovery Channel, all those guys showed up, and they, we got to go meet and greet everybody and all that. So Kelly likes. What's it called? She liked, she kind of was into aliens a little bit, and I was into, the ghosts and stuff, and she kind of liked the Bigfoot stuff. She didn't find it more fun. I found it more like I was completely sold into it. But she went up to, not Bob Lazar. She went, what's the DPS officer that turned into an alien investigator? Do you know his name?
No.
Huge, like known everywhere. Well, she walked up to him and said, "Hey, I'm from Safford," and he's like, "Oh, well, my grandmother is buried in the Thatcher Cemetery." And he's like, "I go there quite a bit." And we're like, "Oh, really? That's cool." Like, he has movies. He's on all kinds of TV shows. He's on documentaries and all this stuff. But he says that a lot of people believe that the reason the telescopes are up there is because it is an alien portal, and that there is it is the darkest and highest point in the southern state in Southern America, South America, not South America, the southern part of our
Right.
United States. So he went to let me see, where's his name up there? No, well, I can't remember his name. We got his autograph and stuff, but anyway, he says that this falls on a certain line on a map where they believe that there's just always been sightings on this straight line across the map. Well, Mount Graham falls right on it. But because it's the highest and darkest point you can get to, that's why they put it up there, and they think that there's a lot of alien activity that goes on at Mount Graham. Now, of course, that's all just conspiracy. Nobody knows that to be true, but they do have a lot of interest in Mount Graham. So another thing that makes our little tiny town kind of famous. But man, what is his name?
Marianne Robb?
No,
Dave Rich?
no. If you said it, I'd remember it. He was a DPS officer. I do know that, but But yeah, it was pretty cool. He knew exactly where we were. He found it very interesting that we knew stuff about, all that, and that we were interested in all that.
So I know that it's a big Native American site.
Yes.
There. I do know that. And then also a lot of the Native American folklore is related to extraterrestrial things, I believe.
Para-Unity, that's what that conference was called we went to. I cannot remember what that guy's name was. That's gonna drive me nuts. But yeah, he was. Jason Hawes was there, he's one of the original ghost hunters. My favorite crew is Project Fear. They were they were called Destination Fear when they were on the Travel Channel, and they've had huge success since then on your YouTube channel. I watch them every week with my girls. So
you probably didn't know this. Fun fact. when I got out of the police academy, I was reserving for Graham County and taking odd jobs around, security jobs and stuff like that. And they didn't have a police department up on the mountain for the U of A telescopes yet. And so they would contract people, and I would frequently go up and do 24-hour or even 2-day weekend stints on the mountain by myself, and I stayed in the Vatican scope.
Oh, you did?
I slept in the Vatican scope.
Do they have like a?
They had bedrooms, they had kitchen, leather furniture. It's nice. I mean, it's the Vatican.
Yeah.
Take my Sega Genesis up there and play Joe Montana 94.
Sega Genesis?
Oh, yeah. So this is how long ago this was. But yeah, I'd walk the perimeter every hour. Pretty creepy. But I didn't see any portals.
Yeah, no. Well, and on certain nights you can go outside and you can see two lasers shooting up into the sky. It's only certain nights, and I can't. They said there was an explanation for it, but you can see two giant green lasers that just go straight into the sky. Do you know why?
I used to work for the telescope.
Yeah, she did too.
I've seen what they use the lasers for, and it's for dialing in, basically kind of like a microscope, how you turn the lens and it zooms in. They use one laser to track where an exoplanet is in our solar system, and they use the other one to kind of dial in and make the picture of the planet clearer.
Huh.
Oh.
Yeah, no, and it's crazy because you can see them from down here.
I've never seen them.
Yeah, well, I just found out about it because somebody on Facebook was like, "Go look at the mountain right now," and somebody that knew about it got on there and was like, "It's not aliens, it's what she just said."
Right. Yeah, some explanation.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So there's a lot of stuff. We have what else do we have here? We have natural hot wells that come out of the ground. There's not a whole lot of places with those where you can just go sit in a hot tub and just made in the ground. There's a lot of people that come here for that reason. I don't know. It's pretty diverse little area.
Do you care if we get a little personal?
No, let's do it.
One of the things I've been, being friends, even, friends like we are.
Are you going to cry?
Really close. No, I'm not going to
Okay.
cry. I might make you cry. Like, we're close, but we're always joking around, just like best friends do. And I've never really asked you hard questions about your addiction and your recovery and how you got through that and what you used in your life, whether it be music or your family, to kind of get past that. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, ask away.
So you were an addict for how many years?
I started heavily into addiction at age, I would say 17 is when I started doing hard drugs, but I started into it. And I'll tell you, the reason I even started in hard drugs was I couldn't smoke marijuana. Still to this day, can't smoke marijuana. And whatever, I don't care. But I'll tell you a quick story as how I found that out, why I couldn't. So one night at a party out in the desert, because that's what we were doing, I thought I was drunk and smoking what I thought was a cigarette. I smoked the whole thing, found out it was marijuana. Nobody could find me at the party. When they did find me, they found me hugging the bottom of a tree and screaming for everybody to hold on because the world ended right there and we were all going to fall off. So everybody thought it was funny. Takes me home. Well, I started having serious hallucinogenic things happen to me, and at first
you sure it was marijuana?
Well, everybody thought that I must have been, drugged of some sort,
Like PCP or something?
something.
Yeah.
And finally, it got so bad. They were like, something's really wrong. We need to get him to the hospital. So they take me to the hospital. When they get me to the hospital, they literally just threw me at the door. And somebody notified them that I was out there, and they took off. It was not even my friends. It was just somebody that was like, we got to get him to the hospital. So when we get in there, doctor starts treating me. I'm starting to calm down a little bit. And he comes back in after a while, and I'm starting to finally calm down and it's wearing off. And he's like, hey, so you had a severe allergic reaction to something. And I was like, oh, what does that mean? He says, well, your throat was constricting. You were not getting blood to your brain. And that's why you were hallucinating. you weren't getting what you needed to your brain. You almost died. Wow. So he's like, well, what did you do tonight? And I don't know why, but I remembered a friend had told me one time before that he was allergic to tomatoes. So I told him I had a salad with tomatoes. He's like, oh, well, that makes sense. You must be allergic to tomatoes. And I said, yeah, no, that makes sense. So I'm finally like, got past that one. And then I did call one of my friends. He came to pick me up. And when he gets there, they start to just charge me. The doctor walks back in and he says, hey, don't be smoking any more tomatoes. So I knew he knew immediately, like, you know, I went into paranoia state. Oh, it was crazy. But yeah, he told me that because of that, I could never do it again. It could be deathly. It could be. So I just drank with everybody. And then back then we had DARE in school still.
Sure.
So all DARE ever taught about was doing cocaine and smoking pot and drinking. I didn't know what meth was. I had no idea. I just knew it could make me play football better. So yeah, that's how it all started. And I was active. I was an active user till 1999 is when they raided my house and took me in. And that's when I did, long term there. And then I got out and I didn't straighten up, kept doing it again. And it was just a cycle that just kept going. But, it was 2006. I remember the day. It was November. I mean, it was, actually it was March 2007. I had a friend that I had made in the Tucson jails. His name was Rusty Noland, and I don't mind saying his name because he just passed. He just passed of, I can't remember. It was something natural. It wasn't anything bad, but he. I remember they offered me a plea agreement, and he told me. He said, I don't know. Long story short. I remember walking that day with him, and we prayed. And I remember the feeling, like I've always heard people tell me, you're never going to quit doing the things you're doing until you want to do it. You can't do it for your family. You can't do it for your wife. You can't do it for your kids. You got to do it for you because that's all that matters. Right. And I never really understood that because up to that point, I'd always thought I was doing the right thing to quit, and I never could. But when I tell you it was like an epiphany, it was a life-changing moment. I felt it. I knew it. It was just a whole different feeling I had inside of me that made me know, like, I'm not doing this again. And, 2 months later, the judge told me, you have one chance. I'm going to let you go out on probation. You have one chance. I'm not going to let you come in my courtroom again. And I was like, I knew at that point. I just knew at that point. I was like, I'm never doing it again. And I never did. Never looked back. And that was, so November 30th, 2006 is when I got arrested. And I got out in May, and shout out to the halfway houses out there that made me program. And I can't remember the name of the halfway house. I went into Tucson, but they were awesome. They made me feel, they helped me get on my feet. They got me to meetings. They got me the job at Albertsons. I stayed there from 2008 to 2013. There was a lot of people. A guy named Jamie Tees, he knew about my background, and he hired me at Albertsons. And I remember hearing him and the store director screaming because the store director didn't want me in a store. And Jamie told him, "You're going to give him a chance. He needs a chance." And I can honestly say Jamie was probably the most influential person in my life that made me know that I am not ever going to go back to that again. And I didn't. Right. I never looked back.
Well, everybody needs someone to believe in them, right?
But the biggest thing that helped me, and I know a lot of parents don't want to hear this, but the biggest, and I know my parents loved me. I am not questioning how much my parents loved me or didn't love me. That's not it. But they were hard on me. They didn't give me money. They didn't give me everything I needed to, and babied me. My parents stood tough and tall, and they didn't give in to me. And I don't know how to say this, but that was the biggest determining factor in my life that got me on the right track. Like, and I love my parents. Like, I am so grateful that they were hard on me, because I don't think I'd have made it either way. I had to learn going into that halfway house how to get a job, how to work, how to earn my keep, how to be responsible. They didn't pave a way for me. Now, I don't know if they would have, if it would have benefited me. It definitely benefited me to have somebody be hard on me and not give in and make me earn it. So yeah, I mean, that's a hard thing for parents to do. So,
well, I was just having a talk with my son today, my youngest son, and it's Father's Day and everything. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Happy Father's Day, guys.
Yeah, and I was just having a talk with him about, he's going to be 15 years old, and I can talk plainly with him and about that balance you got to find as a parent of, are you hard enough on your kids? Mm-hmm. Are you too hard on your kids? Are you giving them too much? Are you manufacturing some kind of struggle for them so they can help build some character? I mean, people say it all the time, especially comedians, like, we wouldn't be funny if we didn't have hard childhoods.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And so, I'm not saying your kid needs to struggle, but if they have, loving parents, people that care about them, everything's going great, sometimes they need some struggle in their life.
Yeah.
And I think that's where sports come in, honestly.
Absolutely.
Is to give them that kind of struggle. And my youngest son happens to be a wrestler, and he's got pretty much all the struggle he needs. He doesn't need me to manufacture any more struggle for him. And so thank God that he has, that in his life. And not to say that he hasn't been through it. He's been through a divorce and some other things. So, but yeah, and I do, like later on in some episodes to come, I really want to dive into sports, because me and you are both sports freaks, sports addicts.
I'm pretty much the best athlete to ever come out of Safford High School, but yeah, no, for real.
What about the entire Gila Valley? You think there'd be an argument there?
I'm probably him.
You're probably
I'm probably him.
Mr. Safford.
I was the first ever Mr. Safford High School. That's fact.
And speaking of Safford, we've got a hometown hero from Safford, Arizona, Justin Gaethje. If the world didn't know him before, they certainly probably
know him now.
Probably know him now with UFC Freedom 250 last Sunday, and what an amazing event! I'm still kind of blown away by it. We watched it. You watched it with your girls, and man, just what an inspiration to have, especially one of our hometown kids from Safford High School, wrestled his whole life. Has been in the UFC. I don't even know how many fights he has now.
Well, I think his official UFC record is it 6? Look that up, would you?
Look at Justin's record.
I think it's 16-5 or 16-4. But anyway, his losses have come to the world's best. Like
he's 11-5 in the UFC. 20,
okay,
and then overall MMA record 28 wins, 5 losses. So
yeah, and those 5 losses are not those are top ranked. Like he was fighting for a belt. He was interim champ twice before he was the champ. But yeah, it's an amazing story. He's from here. His twin brother coaches with me, and just what a cool family. My sister and his mom have been friends since beginning of time, and they're just such a great family.
Yeah,
his dad looks like Mark McGuire. My dad's always called him Mark McGuire.
Yeah, he's a big dude. And just to recap that night, everything was perfect from the lead up to the fight, the underdog status, going in and fighting the champ in Ilia Topuria, who's arguably the pound for pound best fighter, depending on the list you follow. And just from the walkout to the weather clearing up, whatever conspiracy theory you believe in that one.
Yeah.
But to the walkout, the Medal of Honor winners walking out with the fighters, the flyover, just everything about that whole night was amazing. All the fights were amazing. None of them went past the second round. They were all KOs and TKOs.
Every single one was a KO.
Every single one. And just the game plan that Trevor Whitman, Justin's coach, and Justin and his other coaches put together for that fight was flawless. He gave us a scare in the second round. Those body shots. Some people, especially MMA critics, will say, Ilya shouldn't have followed him to the ground, which I agree. But Ilya, we just looked up Ilya's record. He has 8 submission wins in only
he does?
and 7 knockouts.
Oh.
So he's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Of course, you got a guy going to the ground, you're going to fall on the ground, because Justin, throughout his career, some critics would say that Justin's weakness was in jiu-jitsu.
Well, jiu-jitsu, but
not wrestling.
Yeah, I was going to say,
great
not
wrestler.
wrestling.
But, he was submitted by Charles. He was submitted by Habib. And so why wouldn't he fall him to the ground? And that worked to Justin's advantage. That liver shot, those liver shots, there's about 4 or 5 of them.
There was 4 of them that were
were devastating. And it's a testament to the shape he was in and how he prepared for this fight. Because
and don't forget, he's the oldest to get the belt.
Yeah, to get the
he's
lightweight
37
belt.
years old.
Yeah,
like
37 years old.
Nobody's been so. Not only was he in top peak shape, but that just shows you how his shape. Like he was the oldest to go into the ring for the fight, but he outlasted the younger guys. Like that's just fighting for that much time straight, and especially in taking those liver shots. Like it's a storybook. Like you couldn't have scripted a Hollywood script better.
Yeah, and I fully believe there will be a Hollywood script at some point for his career and the culmination of that with this fight. And also just sporting events in general. Like I was alive. You're probably, what year were you born, Tanner?
77.
So you were 3 years old for the 1980 Winter Olympics. I remember it vividly when, the Americans beat the Russians in hockey and Miracle on Ice. And I think this tops it, man. I don't know your opinion on it.
It's definitely, if not, it's top 3, top 5 ever. Just, dude had a victory dinner the night before.
Oh yeah, he always does.
There was nothing and even, I don't know. There was just nobody. The only person that seemed to believe that he was going to win is obviously all of us, because we know him from here in hometown, but none of the other, people were bet against him all night. Nobody had him winning that fight.
Did you see Armin securing
one person that believed in him?
Yeah, I
saw $1 million on
I saw another TikTok where a guy put he won $750,000.
Holy crap.
On the fight. He was already rich, but you got to be rich to make money, right?
Yeah.
And but yeah, just amazing fight. I was watching some clips about people asking if he's going to retire. I don't think he's gonna, man. I mean,
no.
He said he doesn't wake up and feel like.
Well, wasn't he just on Rogan?
Yeah,
and he said that he's not going to fight Ilya again.
No,
he said he has no interest in fighting Ilya, but he was leaning towards. It sounded like he wants to fight again.
Do you want to hear my theory? I think he's waiting to see, and this might be like a shot in the dark, but I think he's waiting to see who wins in the Conor Max fight.
Oh yeah.
Because if
he's wanted Conor since.
If Conor wins, and it'd be nice to see him rematch Max too. I'd love to see that,
yeah.
Or Charles. I'd love to see that fight. I don't really want to see him fight Armin. I think that'd be kind of. I don't really like Armin's fighting style. He's a great athlete, great wrestler, but I would love to see him fight Max again. Love to see him fight Charles again. But man, Conor wins, sets up the biggest money fight Justin has ever had. And I think that would be amazing to see that fight. And everybody loves Conor.
Well, I don't know how he's never got to fight Conor before. I remember
it didn't line up.
Yeah, a couple years back he was calling out Conor.
And I want him to fight at 55. I want Conor to make weight.
Oh yeah,
because he's fighting Max at 70, which is bad for Max because Max is not he's tall, but he's a skinny dude, and Conor's pretty thick right now after all the Mexican supplements he took.
Yeah,
but Yeah, it was great, man. I have a Justin story. Have I ever told you my Justin story? When he was in high school here? So I had a jiu-jitsu school for a few years, and we competed, trained some fighters, local fights, Rage in the Cage, New Mexico fights, and things like that, and cornered a lot of people. But my discipline was jiu-jitsu. I did it for about 20 years. Would still be on the mat if my body would let me, but my school was going pretty good, and we had I think King of the Cage was going on, and I got a call from Don Fry. Do you remember Don Fry, the Predator?
Yep.
So Don calls me. I didn't know Don Fry, but we were doing a promotion for King of the Cage. I had a couple of fighters fighting. I had done some radio spots, and I guess the radio station and King of the Cage had gotten in touch with Don Fry, who was headlining the show. And so I'm on duty one day, and I get a call, and it's like a little flip phone, back then. And I, it's like, hey, Eric, this is Don Fry, that voice he has. And I was like, no, it's not. Who is this? Like, he's not, no, it's Don Fry. So I was like, okay, Don Fry, like, hey, how's it going? He goes, hey, man, I'm not going to be able to make it over there to the thing. I guess he was going to sign autographs and stuff because I was going to have a little promotion at my school, a grapple for tickets. And so if you last 2 minutes with one of my guys, one of my students, you get 2 free tickets to King of the Cage. And, it's open to anybody. So anybody can show up. There's a few people around town that I wanted to show up that didn't get on the mat. But anyway, I get off the phone with Don, and that was kind of surreal. But the next day was the grapple for tickets. It was on a Saturday. And the only people that showed up to grapple my guys and to get on the mat with my guys were the Stafford wrestling team.
Oh, yeah.
So that was Marcus and Justin were seniors at the time. And I think Justin had already committed to Colorado, Eastern Colorado. I think that's where he went to college for wrestling. And Marcus was a wrestler also, and a pretty good wrestler. And there was, a few of the guys that got on the mat. So I wasn't rolling with anybody. And this is kind of my claim to fame. And it's a funny story. Let me preface it by saying, if me and Justin got in a fight, he would kick my ass.
Okay.
Let me preface this. Okay? This is by no means tooting my own horn. Justin was a 17-year-old kid, just a wrestler, hadn't started fighting yet. So Justin, being Justin, said, I want to go with you. And I was like, you want to go with me? And I got a little scared. But he wasn't just engaged yet. Yeah. He was just a Stafford wrestler. But I knew his pedigree. I knew that he was a state champion. I knew he was a dangerous kid. So I had talked to Ray, and Ray's great. I said, hey, Ray, tell these boys to tap if they need to. I don't want them getting hurt. And we didn't start on our feet.
Ray, his father.
Ray Gagey. Yeah. And we didn't start on our feet. We started on our knees, so there's no takedowns. Nobody can get really hurt at my gym. And so that kind of takes away a little bit of the wrestler's arsenal. And so we started, and Justin, like I knew he was going to do, because most wrestlers do, just came right in, extended his arms. I rolled right to an arm bar. I tapped him in like 10 seconds. And I've never told you this story.
I've never heard this one.
And Justin's very competitive. And he said, let's go again. And I said, I'm good. And I think he got a little mad. He went over and sat by his dad. And so I went over there and I said, hey, man, if we were at the Stafford Wrestling Room, you would kill me. Like, this is different stuff. And he goes, yeah, I want to do. And this is back then. This is in high school. And like Justin will tell you, he's been a fan of UFC since he's 4 years old. His dad showed him his first UFC. And he's like, I'm going to do this stuff. I said, that's great. Do it. You're going to college, right? Go do that. Go get your education. And if you decide you want to do MMA, then do it, man. You're going to be great. And who knew, right? So in 2019, I was working up in Morenci at the community center, and I was working with Justin's sister-in-law, Marcus's wife. And we brought Justin in, and Ben Charrington, his wrestling coach, and Trevor Whitman, his head coach, for a wrestling clinic for the local youth. It was awesome. There's like 200 people there. It went great. And I was telling this story to a buddy of mine, Anthony, who grew up with Justin. And we were laughing about it. And Trevor walks up and he goes, what are you guys talking about? I said, it's this stupid story that I rolled with Justin when he was 17 years old, and I tapped him with an arm bar. And he goes, "Oh yeah, I've heard that story." He goes, "He wants a rematch," and I was like, "I'm retired. I'm retired."
I'm good.
So that's my little claim to fame. I like to think, in my heart of hearts, that I had a little something to do with his journey, but I think it's just great what he's done and everything he's given back to the Gila Valley and he's
huge around here. I mean, he's a worldwide celebrity, but like these kids, and he's so good to the people around here. He like the Boys and Girls Club, which my girls attend. Like he does so much for them, and just a great family. All of them. I really love all of them.
Yeah, they really are good people, man.
Well, I think we should move on to this next segment called "How Have We Stayed Friends with These Alternate Lifestyles?"
I don't know, man. Well, we don't really have alternate lifestyles anymore.
Well, not anymore, but like, how did we? And I've thought about that even with Brad and everybody. I'm like, how did? Like, I was so opposite of all of you. Like, I don't know how.
You want my opinion? You want my take on it?
Yeah.
Here's my take. You're not a fucking asshole. You're not a dirtbag. You're a really, really good dude. And you're a genuine guy. And like you said, you've never hid anything from anybody.
Nope, nothing.
You've always worn your heart on a sleeve. And that genuine quality to you, we always saw that. You're the one that had the trouble seeing it. So that's how, I mean, if believe me, I've met some assholes. You're not an asshole. Sometimes I am.
No.
But you still love me.
No.
Besides that. But that's how we've stayed close, is you were always a good dude. That's my take on it.
Well, this has an interesting point. Do you think that? I don't think so. I think in some places it did, but do you feel like maybe it was enabling? Maybe you could have been harder. Do you think it would have mattered? I don't think it would have mattered. And I'm only bringing that up because it's on the points here.
I can't talk for Brad, but me and Brad are pretty much aligned on this. We were just always there for you, man. Like, always supportive. Like, you knew that and look, believe me, I'm not perfect, and neither is Brad. Nobody is. We just happen to be cops, and we happen to be your friends. I think that we shot you straight.
Mm. Yeah, no, I don't think you guys ever.
And I don't think we enabled you at all.
Yeah.
There's nothing I could have done differently.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's, which goes back to what I'd said earlier. Like, when people say that, you're not going to quit till you want to. Like,
yeah, it has to be you.
And so enabling with drug addiction, it just kind of. I don't know that you can enable.
I mean, what
somebody.
the hell? What were we supposed to do?
Yeah. There's nothing that. I mean, I was arrested. I was put in rehabs. But until I said it, and I knew it in my heart, there was nothing I could have done. Nothing anybody could have said. Well, I knew everything.
You know this better than anybody. When you have a family member that has issues with substance, you can't do shit for them, but be there. And you are our brother. So that's what it boiled down to. Like, you can't do anything for anybody that doesn't want to do it for themselves. You can, and the best thing you can do is just be there. And that's what we did. And we didn't treat you any different.
Yeah.
I beat the shit out of you many times.
Yeah.
Just playfully.
Yeah. Well, I let you. I don't like picking on old people. It's not fair. Yeah, no, I think, yeah. I just wondered what your take was on that, because it was
No, I mean, that's my take. When I'm friends with somebody, I don't have a lot of friends.
Well, tell me this.
I got a handful of friends.
Different subject, but what so now you're a tattoo artist. Mm-hmm. What and how did that happen? Because as a friend of you for 30 years, until 4 years ago, I didn't even know you had an artistic bone in your body.
Really?
No. In fact, it may even be as soon as you moved into this house when I saw the drawings and I said, who did that?
Yeah.
I had no idea, so I don't know how.
Well, it's kind of like drumming, too. I played the drums when I was younger, and then until 6-7 years ago, I hadn't picked up a drumstick.
Yeah.
Same thing with art. Like, I've always been artistic and autistic. And I just let it kind of fade away and got wrapped up in being a dad, being a husband, having a career, things like that. And let me tell you something. You talked about being old, and I'm no spring chicken.
Nope.
But the older you get,
How old are you?
I'm 60.
Damn.
I know.
I mean,
It's
Oh.
hard to say.
60.
Yeah. But being as old as I am, I feel like my days are a little numbered, right? I only got, 15, 20 more years, good years left. And I want to do what I want to do. And if I can do something that I love, that I can make a living off of, that's what I'm going to do. And so how it started is 25, 30 years ago, we have a local tattoo artist, Ryan Briscoe, Briscoe's Tattoo, a little shout out. Ryan's a good friend of mine. He was always trying to get me to tattoo. He knew that I could draw. He knew that I was artistic. And, I paint, I sculpt, and I work in pencil and pen and ink and everything else. And he's like, man, you got a tattoo. And he's been trying to get me to do it for 25 years. And finally, I started talking with a guy at a local shop a couple of years ago, and I started, kind of tattooing on the side, and just recently I quit my day job, and I'm tattooing full time, and man,
Well, that was a pretty big leap, right?
it was huge.
I mean, you had a steady job. You've been at for how many years?
I was at the community. I was in Morenci for 10 years.
And you decided that this isn't making you happy anymore, right? It's just
honestly never did.
Yeah, and and
I
luckily,
mean, there were moments.
Luckily, you had the ability, to you had people like me that let you just draw on them and do stuff. But so yeah, you said I'm going to move on and I'm going to take this risk, and it's been pretty good. You've stayed steady working, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty busy, man. I was tattooing all day yesterday on a Saturday, so I'm doing better than I was doing up there, and I'm, man, just the freedom of like not having to answer to somebody and not having a boss is amazing, and I get to do art, and so that's everything to me right now, and that's my retirement plan, man.
Yeah, no, that's good. I probably do have some talent somewhere. I just don't know what it is, but
you definitely have talent.
I just don't know what. Like I have all these. I mean, I'm not unhappy where I'm at. I'd say that I have easily the best boss in the world, and I don't care if he hears that or not.
He's a good dude.
He is pretty. Yeah, he has his moments, but all bosses do. But they're not very often, and he lets me kind of do what I need to do and how to do it, and he questions me on certain things. So I can't say I've been, I'm in a bad place. I mean, everybody could use a little more money, but I'm doing okay. Like, but yeah, if I had something like that, I could just freelance and do myself. Man, who knows? Maybe the podcast. That's it. Who knows?
I don't know. We need some sponsors. Anybody out there want to sponsor? hit us up. Hopefully, we can get some viewers, get some listeners on this, and we didn't bore you guys too much.
And I know I said we'd do live, but I just found out today. We can't do. I mean, we could do it on our personal page, but we cannot go live on Facebook on our podcast page until we have 100 followers, which we do, and the page has to be in use for 60 days.
Gotcha. Okay.
So until it's been up for 60 days, we can't do the lives on Facebook. But if you guys have questions or anything like that, that'll be cool to have like a live feed going on the computer, and we can read questions and stuff in live time. But until then, this episode's been kind of who we are, what we doing, why we do this. But yeah, we're gonna have topics. I think we're gonna cover sports. We're gonna cover everything, right? I mean, there's really nothing not on the table.
Everything's on the table. My son-in-law the other day is all well, you can only talk about so much cop stuff and so much con stuff. I said, no, dude, we're going to talk about everything, man.
Yeah,
we've got varied interests. We have common interests. We're going to talk about everything. And we look forward to seeing some suggestions from Facebook. Like if you're on Facebook or you can comment on this podcast, we're going to throw it up on Spotify here soon. And just give us some ideas of what you want to hear. And we wanted to do this introductory episode, just kind of getting to know us. But the next one in a week or two is going to be, just going to pick a topic and riff with that, or a few topics.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
We'll have a few. I think we'll find something that'll, maybe we'll do a theme, to end the show every week, or something that's steady. But we want to make sure this is just kind of a free conversation. We're not trying to follow a script or we'll have topics and stuff, but we're not gonna. So I don't want you to think like you're gonna hear the same story every time you get on our like. We just wanted you guys to know who we are, why we're doing this. I don't really know why we're doing this. I think it's because we're pretty egocentric. We think everybody wants to know what we're up to, but the truth is I went to right after high school, I went to the Academy of Radio and Television Broadcasting.
I remember that, yeah.
And so it's always been like I wanted to work for 98 KUPD in Phoenix, and that was my glasses are yelling in my ears again. But I wanted to be a radio DJ. I've always wanted to, and our local radio stud Reed Richards, he's been giving me radio spots, and like right now, if you go listen to the radio, I'm on a couple commercials on the air right now, and but that's just what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to be behind a mic and talking about stuff, and luckily the internet and technology's advanced to where you don't have to get lucky anymore. You can't, you don't have to worry about applying for a job at a radio station to get on the air. You can do it yourself. Right. And we're going to take advantage of it. Like Eric said, we're not getting younger.
No.
And the only way to know this isn't going to work is if we try it. And hopefully it does work. But we can't just
whether it works or not.
Talk about it or not. Yeah, I mean we can do it every other week, whether we have one listener or a million. Who cares? It's going to be good. I think that between the both of us, I think we've got inspirational stories. My goal isn't to just glorify my addiction or talk about this or talk about that to make it seem like I'm proud of any of that. But my goal in talking about these things, and it always has been, is that maybe my message could help somebody else out there. Maybe there's somebody else out struggling in the same situation I was in, and maybe they can listen to my podcast or hit me up or say, hey, you know what, I'm struggling, and I can use my stories to better further somebody else. So that's my goal here is I'd love to get my message out, but not to glorify it, not to say I'm proud of it. I always tell people I do not regret my past, but I never want to live it again. And the reason I say that is because everything I've done up to this point, some of it has been super freaking shitty, but everything up to this point has led me to this microphone right now. I have 2 beautiful daughters. I've got my own home. I've got a lot, and there's been help along the way, but like I'm not proud of my past, but I don't hide it for the reason, like I said, maybe my message is, maybe that's my penance in life, is help somebody else somewhere and say, you know what, there's hope out there. You too can have a huge drug addiction and go to prison and go to jail and rehab and everywhere else, but you can still, with determination and good friends, you can still get into the right places. So that's my hope with all this,
Yeah, well said, man. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This is the first of many, and we'll talk to you next time.
Yeah, we'll put up a link somewhere, probably on our personal pages and on the Cop and the Con page, where you can listen to these. So hopefully, you'll subscribe, listen, whatever we need to do. It helps us out, even if you just tune in for a little bit. So thanks, everybody. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.